House Oversight Committee member, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett joins me. Sir, it's not against the law for him to use pseudonyms. Is that correct, for the vice president or president to use a pseudonym in an email?
From what I understand, there's no law that addresses it, but you have to question why in the world would you use a dadgum pseudonym? You're the vice president of the United States, unless you're trying to hide something. And of course, it's over the vice presidential server. So it's pretty evident of where it's coming from. I think it's a lapse of judgment completely, but it's an attempt to hide and misdirect. And I think something else, Greta, should be noted. If there are possibly other pseudonyms out there that he's used, those are the ones that we know of. So there could be more than 5,400 emails and documents out there.
Well, what struck me, and I've spent some time this afternoon trying to track it down, is that one of them, Robert L. Peters at PCI.gov. And I thought, what in the world is PCI.gov? So I Googled it a million times. Finally, I called Morgan Wright, who's an expert in this kind of thing. And I had my assistant call. And she asked, what is this PCI? And this is what PCI is. It's a highly restricted network that is to be used for combat support for warfighting operations. What makes it unusual is that a vice president is not in the chain of command for Department of Defense and has no statutory authority. Why he has a PCI.gov account is highly problematic. Do you have any idea why he has that account?
No, ma'am, I don't. And that, again, is just a very weak attempt from them to hide whatever they're doing. You have to remember this president has lied multiple times about any contact with his son about the business. And we find out that he has actually spoke to the board members during a board meeting. And then after money was transferred to his son, that the then vice president had meetings with these folks. So 21 different LLCs created that sells no product, nothing other than access to the big guy. So we've got some real problems, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. That's why you're seeing, I think that's why he's been on vacation all month, and that's why you're seeing Democrats and the mainstream media is pulling off at least a little bit of their support.
Well, it is somewhat of a tradition for presidents to take off in August. I will say that. I mean, a lot of people, Congress is in recess. I mean, it's like, you know, I can't criticize him for that. I mean, everybody, I'm working, but a lot of you guys are not working. So I'm not going to criticize him for that. But, you know, whatever these are, there's so much smoke. You know, it may all be nothing, but the problem is that he's the only one who can sort of unravel it for us and tell us if there's nothing wrong. And so now we've got we've got something that's odd. And if there's nothing wrong with it, I sure wish the president or one of his representatives say, this is why it was done this way, and this is why he has a PCI.gov account.
Yeah, I think you're going to see it come out in the impeachment hearings that we're going to get into very quick. And I hope we don't delay and we don't orchestrate and we don't do like the January 6th hearings and have, you know, CBS come out and produce it for us and have walkout music. I hope we just present the facts to people. We can do it in 1 week and quit with all the showmanship. Because we've got some other serious things. Let's be honest. This Justice Department is crooked as a dog's leg. They're not going to do anything to this bunch. They're going to let them go because they're part of this bunch. Most of them are Obama appointees, and we just didn't have enough sense to get rid of them when we were at the helm. And now they're running the show, and that's what you're seeing. It's just a continuation of this corruption. So I hope we get onto this, impeach him, goes to the Senate. I doubt it'll get the 60 votes, but let's hand it off to them and let's start dealing with the debt because this country is about to go under.
Well, maybe we should come back on and talk about the value of the impeachment. We are coming up to an election and let the American people sort of decide themselves what they want to do. But we'll leave that for another day. Congressman Tim Burchett, thank you, sir, for joining me.
Thank you, Greta. It's been a pleasure.